God. What about the tribe of Levi? Man, they're almost like a Sabbath tribe. You had 11 brothers over there, but the Levites, the Levitical priests, and all the tribe of Levi, that's just the folk in the family. Because you have folk, if you had any kind of defect, deformity, whatever, you couldn't serve. But you weren't excluded from the blessing. You hunchback, blind, you got scabs, whatever. Now you can't serve in the sanctuary. But because you're in the family, it don't exclude you from the blessings. Father, we thank you and we praise you for this, your holy Sabbath. Thank you for this place and this people that you blessed to be here on time. May your blessings continue to overtake them in their journey in you and with you. May your mercy cover those who are traveling, cover those who are not here but have a desire to be here. Thank you for special keeping, special mercy for Mother Deborah and all of her family, even this day. Thank you that you are the all-time God. So you not only are the God during the times of life, you are also the same God during the time of death. Father, we thank you for every aspect of you that we get to experience. Thank you for providing what we need in your word today, for making the Holy Spirit available to open our understanding that we might receive this word today. Thank you for renewing and restoring and refreshing wineskins all over the world today, that your spirit may be allowed to freely pour today in Jesus' name. Amen. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. Our life training lesson today is to live uniquely different. God has commanded us, desires that we live uniquely different. I'll give you a perspective of this in Deuteronomy. This, of course, Israel's view, but we'll shift. But I wanted you to see the vision of God in Deuteronomy chapter 7. We're in the Amplified Classic. Look at verse 6.
For you are a holy and set-apart people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a special people to himself out of all the peoples on the face of the earth.
Everybody understands how God feels. There are certain things within every household that we will buy extras. Why? Not because we're stockpiling, but in some cases because I don't want you using my stuff.
Right.
So I'll buy extras so y'all use them.
Right.
All right? God was clear. I made all of humanity. I intended to bless all of humanity. But let the record show. Israel was, look at the language. You are a holy and set apart people. That's where we get the word sanctified. It's our toothbrush. Even married folk got their own toothbrush.
That's right.
Now, you can't really say nothing when your spouse uses yours, but you don't really like it. That's why it's two of them.
Right.
All right? Your underwear generally is sanctified because normally you don't want nobody in it, but
choose it.
yeah. So now, and we just go right down the line. It's stuff in our households that, no. And it's a whole lot of folks. Once they find out somebody else done used it, a new one's going to get purchased.
That's right.
Watch this. He said, you are a holy people. You got to underscore that. And certainly not because they were living holy, but because God had declared it so. And set apart to the Lord your God. Well, how did this happen? The Lord chose you. You didn't choose him. To be a special people. I believe King James says peculiar. To himself, watch this, out of all the people on the face of the earth. I wanted you for me. It says, out of all the people on the face of the earth, I chose you. Watch this. Holy and set apart, a special people. Hear the language of God. So from the onset, I needed you to understand, I don't want you like we frown on the peculiarities of life. We look down on those who have been uniquely designed by God to stand out from the crowd. We've been so conditioned. No! Blend in. I don't want nobody to see me. I don't want nobody to notice me. I don't want to be the oddball in the group. And yet God says in verse 6, I desired a whole nation to be the oddball of humanity. Stuff happens to us, but our response should be different from the rest of the world because God has chosen us. Look at 7, verse 7.
The Lord did not set his love upon you and choose you because you were more in number than any other people.
Because here's the reality.
For you were the fewest of all people.
Y'all weren't the biggest nation. Oh, wow. He did not set his love and choose you because you were all of that. We just talked about it last week. He chooses the weak things, the foolish things, the things nobody wants, the things people despise, reject, the people look down on, that nobody else wants. That's what God chooses to use. And thank God he does. Because that's how we all got in here. Well, why did you set your love upon Israel? Look at verse 8. This is important.
But because the Lord loves you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn to your fathers, the Lord has brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
When you didn't believe freedom was possible. He set his love on you because he would keep his oath. That's a covenant love. A love that was in place before they showed up. He makes an agreement with Abraham. Abraham lives and dies. Isaac lives and dies. Jacob lives and dies. And while Joseph and the brothers are developing as a nation for 40 years in slavery and have no idea what's been put in place, here comes the love of God. Didn't matter what you were going to do. I swore. It's right there in the verse. I swore to your fathers that I would bring you out. He told Jacob, don't be afraid to go down there. I will go down there with you, and when the time is right, I'm going to bring you up out of here. That's what he promised. Now, the folk didn't know nothing about that, but God did. Man, we got parents, grandparents, it's folk in everybody's family line that have prayed and asked God for stuff, but had foresight. They had insight in God. God, don't just bless me, because when I live and there goes the blessing. Don't just bless my kids, because my kids going to have kids, and they going to have kids, and they going to have kids. God, I'm praying today for this blessing to go on down the line somewhere. Blessings, kindness, kingdom pleasantries happen to us all the time, and we're shocked because somebody down the line. Watch this. I swore to your fathers that I would bring you out with a mighty hand. I redeemed you out of the house of bondage. Wow. How long will you keep this up? Look at verse 9.
Know, recognize, and understand, therefore, that the Lord your God, He is God.
Watch this.
The faithful God, who keeps covenant and steadfast love and mercy with those who love Him and keep His commandments to 1,000 generations.
Now, see, while that sounds lovely, that's a conditional clause. He says, get this point. Don't miss this. Did you see what it said in verse 9? God is all in. Did you see it? As long as. See right there, we don't read another verse in the Bible. Oh, it's got to be another covenant then. Because what do we know about Israel? They wasn't never all in. He says, get this point. Yeah, I'm your God. I'm the faithful God. I keep my covenant and mercy with those who keep theirs. You break yours, I break mine. Oh, wow. So all while in Egypt, regardless of what you thought about the conditions, who was keeping? And they didn't even know it. Oh, you whining and crying the blues, but at the end of the day, I'm only letting the Egyptians do so much because while you think they're in charge, they ain't. Newsflash. That's why I really don't care what Trump do or don't do, because he don't run nothing. And that jack-leg Congress don't either. All them jokers is criminals, and they don't run nothing, and they ain't been running nothing. God, word says, he set them up, and he set them down. So he makes it clear. I kept you while you were in Egypt. And when the time was up, guess what? You saw Moses. You saw the rod. You heard Aaron. But newsflash, it was me doing it. They were the showpiece. I was the power behind the showpiece. It's right there. I brought you out with a mighty hand. They didn't do that. How did they survive the wilderness? And all through Deuteronomy, he says, hey, y'all thought y'all was just wandering. Every place you stepped, I had already gone before. I knew where I was going. I charted out the path and made sure. No, they can't pitch their tent right there. Yes, too many snakes and locusts there. I made sure you had good places to pitch your tents, even though I knew you weren't willing to cooperate with nothing I had going on. I still took care of you in the wilderness. Even when you all disobeyed, got to the promised land, decided you wasn't going in, was going to kill Moses and go back to Egypt, hey, I tolerated all that foolishness. Even the 40 years I caused y'all to wander till 20 and up died, you still didn't die of hunger, you didn't die of starvation. I made sure you ate, I made sure you slept, I still took care of you even in those 40 years. Watch this. So it is clear that God was for Israel.
Yeah.
That ain't never the problem. Israel was never for God. How tragic. Watch this, 1 Samuel chapter 8. Won't go into all the details. Samuel's an interesting character. He's one of the only ones who occupied 3 offices at the same time. Anybody want to just jump out there and guess what the 3 offices were?
Priest, judge, and prophet. Close. Priest, judge, prophet.
He's scared. He's scared. The deacon trying to help you, man.
First one.
Yes, he was.
I got 2 out of 3.
He was the priest. He wasn't the high priest. Eli was the high priest.
What happened
But after he died.
after he died?
But he was the priest. He was a prophet. And he is what started the judge line. But watch this. Look at chapter 8, verse 1.
When Samuel was old,
I don't care how awesome you are and how great your walk in God is. Sooner or later, your time is. And we'll see how great your ministry was when we can look behind and see who in the line to replace you. When Samuel was old, watch what happened.
he made his sons judges over Israel.
Verse 3.
His sons did not walk in his ways, but turned aside after gain, took bribes, and perverted justice.
Watch this. Because it's not an African proverb, it's a biblical proverb. The reason it takes a village is because when you're doing the work of God, what you can't do is be gone and at home at the same time.
That's true.
And so seeing, even when we were growing up, when you're in a small community or whatever, you couldn't just cut the food because your mom and daddy wasn't around. Because see, if any other adult saw you, they didn't have the privilege of just telling your mom and daddy on you. But they bust you in your tail when they caught you acting up. And then they told your mom and daddy, and you got busted in the tail when you got home.
No, that's right.
So all of us as kids, when we were growing up, were spies. We were secret agents. Yeah, we did our dirt, but man, we had to do it
Really?
covertly undercover because it was too many eyes. Hey, hold on. Make sure nobody watching. And newsflash, it was always somebody watching.
Always.
That was the safety of the neighborhood. So while Samuel is going all over town, taking God's word, making sure that people got what they need, wasn't nobody helping his sons. Watch this. Now we got a problem. Because verse 1 said, Samuel is, which means, and it don't matter how good it is, if something ain't put in place before we're going to be in a mess.
Yeah.
Because his sons are already handling business, but according to verse 3, we hear in all cases, that's what judges do. Did you see what he said? He made his sons
Judges over Israel.
Now, Lady Liberty, what y'all seen her? What does the little image look like?
Her?
The lady holding the flame.
That's the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, I'm sorry. The,
You know, you're at court, they got the little
Oh,
lady,
yeah. She's got the weight, the scale.
and what else?
oh, yeah.
She's on the scales. That's how she
Okay.
But she got the book. She got a book.
The Statue of Liberty. But now,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
blindfolded.
Yeah.
Why?
Because,
I can't be affected by what you're trying to.
show me what I see, yeah.
If justice is to be right, if it's to be pure, I cannot be bribed. Watch this. Look at what it says again. His sons did not walk in his ways, but turned aside after
Gain.
English.
Right.
So there are some people who should have gone to jail if not gotten the death penalty. Why they didn't get it?
But they paid them off.
They had money. What do you mean you ain't never seen it?
I have never seen that.
That's why we describing the Statue of Liberty versus Lady of Liberty.
She's actually justice.
Or just,
Yeah, because when I type in Lady of Liberty, it brought up Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
But I put Lady of Liberty judges, and then
Yeah, of course. They to let you're supposed to have, when you see that, confidence in,
Yeah.
yeah, to execute
learn
judgment.
something new every day.
Take care of business.
Yeah. So if you're right, you're right. But if you wrong, guess what? And you're gonna pay.
yeah.
But now what's this? They made it clear. See, watch this. His sons did not walk in his ways, but
Turn it
so now he put them deep
over.
in the. They started in the right way. But watch this. What got him over here?
Lies.
If money will turn a judge, it'll turn you too.
Still doing it.
I wish somebody was getting this. Money turned them aside. That's during the process. See, when you know things ain't going well, this ain't working out. Hey, get this to the judge. So now, they took gain while the trial was going on. Watch this. It said they also took,
Right.
you know what? I don't even feel like going through all this. I don't even want to go to court. Hey, just ask them how much will it take so we can just bypass all of this. That's what a bribe is. Oh, come on. And they, do you know what pervert means? In a sentence, it's to change its natural order.
Right.
There was a natural order that this thing should have gone, but money and benefits, all these folk, downtown, city officials, all of that, what gets them caught up? Because, see, they're responsible. Hey, we need somebody to build this facility. All right, well, we'll take contracts. All right, now if we're fair, we're just gonna let the best man.
Win.
Hey, but you know what? I need this contract. So now this ain't even about the contract no more. Let me tell you something. If you can guarantee price that I get this contract, anybody got to know about this? Hey, I'll break you off. I'll break you off some. Now that's when you know you're in trouble. How much rent we talking about? You got already.
Yeah. Price.
Yeah. So now watch this. This ain't potato chips. You can't take one bribe and then say, ah,
That's it.
that's it, I'm out the game. Because I might fool around and get. Oh no. Because see, if this contract got you $500,000 and you don't make but $50 a year, man, I just got 10 years worth of money. Newsflash. They need to build over here too. Everywhere you see all them cranes downtown, somebody had to say yes to the contract.
Yeah.
Somebody sit at the table. And they were the only ones trying to get that spot. And the only company trying to fight for that. And everything that's done under the table is never outside of man, I'm trying to get this contract. Hey, man, let me tell you something. How you get that contract? Y'all wouldn't even qualify. Hey, man, you know what we did? Oh. I didn't know that's how the game was played. What if he'll take 500, he'll take $1 million. See, now you're in trouble for real. Because with every contract, and with the seriousness of every contract, guess what? It's going to get higher and higher. And if you can't say no to the low end offer, oh man, you stuck out. Watch this. 1 Samuel 8:4. We got to have a meeting.
All the elders of Israel assembled and came to Samuel at Ramah.
They didn't meet with Samuel and his sons. We ain't trying to die behind this foolishness. They had a private meeting with the old man. Watch this.
And said to him, Behold, you are old, and your sons do not walk in your ways.
Watch this.
Now appoint us a king to rule over us like all the other nations.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Why don't we just get rid of his sons?
Right.
Because you missed it. Because the sons not only represented God, to the people they were God. So if the leadership ain't right, wow. Look at verse 6.
But it displeased Samuel.
Why? Why did it displease him? See, in Deuteronomy it said, you need to know this, recognize, and understand. Don't miss this. Who was the scorer on this team? Yeah, you want to say it loud? Yeah. When we need somebody to come through in the clutch, who doing it? When we need somebody to hit the game-winning shot, who doing it? And not just some of the time. Every time we lose it and in the hole, who is consistently coming through for us? Now all of a sudden, we want him off the team. Samuel understood. I don't know what y'all got on y'all mind. He's the only reason we are where we are and we got what we got. Watch this. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, what?
Give us a king to govern us.
And not just a king. It said a king to rule over us like we don't want to be.
Peculiar.
We tired of standing. We want
Be like everybody
to
else.
blend in. You know, we tell this story. It wasn't funny when we was doing it. But you know, right now and then we stuck into a party. Somewhere we ain't supposed to be going. And we're doing our absolute best, Roger.
Step out like a sword. All water in the clip.
And everybody in there know
You know,
you're trying too hard
yeah.
to fit in. And ain't nothing like somebody don't even know you. Hey, say man, what you doing in here? Who you talking to? Just like a party line or something? I'm talking to you. I mean, I'm trying to have a good time. You know you ain't got no business in here. Hey man, who you talking to? I come in here all the time. Yeah, no you don't. You don't belong here. Ain't nobody but the goodness of God trying to keep you making one of the biggest mistakes of your life. Watch this. Give us a king so that we can be like. See, some of us tried to smoke, tried to drink, tried to go down certain avenues, and God said, not you. Why you so desperately want to be like, I didn't call you. I didn't birth you. I didn't save you to be like. Y'all, and it takes a while. Some people almost live their whole life before they ever come to understand what it is to be what God has called you to be, above what you want to be.
It's kind of like, kind of remind me of what's going on now and has gone on when a pastor dies.
Mm-hmm.
And he, may want his son to, but he not lining up like his daddy did. Churches are facing that even today. They did when I was growing up, when the pastor died, your son ain't you don't want him. What do you do?
What all places should do. How'd you get the first king? They didn't just make a king. They went to the man who was connected to God. Appoint us a king, because whoever you say got to be all right, because one thing we know about you, you are connected to him. We don't do that. We just appoint.
Yeah.
Like it or lump it. And if the people don't say nothing, guess what? They finna lump it. It said, but Samuel prayed to the Lord. Look at this, verse 7, we got to move.
And the Lord said to Samuel, hearken to the voice of the people in all they say to you.
This is what's at stake.
For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not be king over them.
Because one thing was clear, the people did not see God as the, that's why it wasn't no big deal to replace him. Just like we have a poor image of God for our own life. And just anybody can get on the throne and replace him because we don't understand who he really is. As a footnote, look at verse 8.
According to all the works which they have done since I brought them out of Egypt, even to this day.
This is what I've been getting.
Forsaking me and serving other gods, so they also do to you.
Yeah, because see, the reason they wanted a king, watch this, was not only that they were rejecting God, you see what he said they're doing also to you? What were they also doing?
Serving other gods.
So they also do to you. What were they doing to Samuel? They were rejecting Samuel.
Forsaking, serving other gods.
They were rejecting his jackleg sons. We don't want them ruling over us. Even though that's your appointment, no, we don't want your sons. Let the record show, because they ain't no good.
Wow.
And more information after that. God said, tell the people what a king gonna do. And when he gave the list, the folks said, we don't care. We still want a king because it's more important for us to be like
Everybody else.
and life changes drastically in Israel after that day. Because no man will ever lead like God will. No man can ever provide like God can. That was Israel, 1 Peter chapter 2. See, 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 7 gives us an idea of what the rest of this is in reference to. You see that first line of verse 7?
To you then who believe.
Now, to those who can believe, drop down to verse 9.
But you are a chosen race.
Now, get that. Matthew 22:14 says, many are called.
But
He says, as it relates to you as the believer, that ain't your issue. You are chosen by God. You don't know what it is to try out for something and this period of waiting to know if you
yeah, got it or
made the cut. It ain't about making the team. Because see, if there's too many guys or girls going out for it, there are several cuts.
Yeah.
Watch this. When he says you are a chosen race, that's God saying you made the. But you are. But we don't live like we are. We live like. But the writer is saying, but you're not like everybody else. We go to these jobs like they God. Like they're our source. Like we need them. We don't need the job. The job,
not.
because we are God's people in the earth. See, they ain't settled in us yet. Blessings follow us. Not only has God chosen us a race, don't miss that, but also a,
Royal priesthood.
now wait a minute. You know what royal is?
Kingship.
Is everybody the king?
No.
Is everybody in the king's family? You know, as it relates to the country, nobody lives like the king or his family. They are uniquely different from the whole country. And everybody knows it. Watch this. He didn't just say royal, but also as it relates to the priesthood. There were 12 tribes. 11 of them wished they had the freedom to come and go in and out of the presence of God. No ma'am, no sir. It didn't happen like that. God chose one tribe and gave them Deuteronomy 18. Now, listen at the believer as we read this. Deuteronomy 18:1.
The Levitical priest and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part or inheritance with Israel.
Watch this. That sounds like a terrible thing. 11 tribes got land. They got material stuff. They got money. They was hooked up. When it came to the Levites, a declaration was made by God. Y'all don't get no inheritance with Israel. What are we supposed to do then, God? The Levites shall eat the what?
The offerings made by fire to the Lord and his rightful dues.
Y'all eat out of my part. You finna miss this. Somebody's pitching a fit because you mad you ain't got what?
They got it.
They-
Because it just looked like.
They got more. Gotta go to it.
I bet you want to read verse 2 though.
They shall have no inheritance among their brethren.
This is why.
The Lord is their inheritance as he promised them.
What? Did you see God? What about the tribe of Levi? Man, they're almost like a Sabbath tribe. You had 11 brothers over there, but the Levites, the Levitical priests, and all the tribe of Levi, that's just the folk in the family. Because you have folk, if you had any kind of defect, deformity, whatever, you couldn't serve. But you weren't excluded from the blessing. You hunchback, blind, you got scabs, whatever. No, you can't serve in the sanctuary. But because you're in the family, it don't exclude you from the blessings. The Levitical priests and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part or inheritance with Israel. Look at God. So the 11 brothers were grouped together. But y'all by yourself. Nobody got to eat the offerings that were offered to the Lord but the Levites. Which means they were the fattest tribe. Bible readers know it wasn't just a morning sacrifice. It was also an evening sacrifice. And this went on, including the Sabbath. Which is why later on Jesus said, how come y'all understand about the priests working on the Sabbath? Well, they had to. Who else was going to manage the sanctuary? Because the sins never stopped, the sacrifice didn't either. And so while it was sad for you having to keep bringing these sacrifices, these Levites may come out. You ain't got to wonder. Can you imagine that, Rosin? You ain't got to wonder what we eating today. All you have to do is look at the sin line. Oh, wow. I don't care what Price did. He bringing a whole cow. Oh, Lord. And then the man behind Price, he got a lamb. Beef and lamb today? Oh, man. And can you imagine? Oh, and then the meal offering, and then the grain offering, and then there was a drink offering, y'all. They didn't bring Kool-Aid, and they wasn't bringing water before God. So now, it's all kinds of wine in the line. Yeah. You feel sad and happy at the same time. It was sad that they sinned. We're going to eat good today. Y'all, they ate good.
Every day.
Can you believe that? He said, you shall eat the offerings made by fire to the Lord, and you will benefit from his rightful dues. You know what dues is?
Paying.
You know what dues is?
The money that was paid to the church.
Paying.
He said, quit tripping about what they got and praise me for what you get. Because I made provisions for you that your brothers can't even get. Oh my God. Most church folk miss this. Zoom into verse 2. You steady begging God for stuff. I'm tired of prayer coming up, God. I need my own stuff.
That's right.
So I can at least, if not be equal to him, give me some.
A little bit above.
As if the stuff is what we're all about. Right. God's word says a man's life consists of more than the things he possesses. Right. It ain't about the stuff. Right. He says in verse 2, y'all ain't got no inheritance. Among your brothers, they got the inheritance.
Wow.
How are we supposed to go to sleep and not be depressed, God? I'm so glad you asked. He says, I got something better than inheritance.
Me.
Did you see that?
Yes.
God says, I'm your inheritance.
Right.
You should just ran out of here right now. God says, ding, 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 ding. I'm your prize. Come on, y'all. They're excited about the stuff I give,
You should be excited about
but I gave you me.
Yeah.
Wow. As he promised them. Watch this. Watch this. Look at verse 5. Oh, I wish y'all were getting this. He tells Abram the same thing. See, in Genesis, right after Abram rescued Lot, 5 kings went to war against 4 kings. Abram was the winner that day. The Bible says he brought back all the people and all the stuff. How much is 9 kingdoms worth of stuff?
Boy.
more than you got storage space for.
The king who was able to make the decision told Abram, listen, just give me the people. You're finna miss all this. He's showing you something. Because with my bank account at 0, as long as I got the people, we can build again. Here, the king, what are you saying? I can make something out of nothing. Just give me the people. You keep the stuff. Watch what Abram said. See, I had an arrangement with God before I showed up. I don't want your stuff. You'll never be able to say down the line somewhere, you see all the stuff Abram got? You know where he got it from? I did that. Oh, no, you won't never be able to say that. Now, I had some help. I can't speak for them. Y'all negotiate y'all own stuff. I don't want none of your stuff. Now, you can't even imagine because you weren't there. There's a pastor in town, and while the church was developing, the church gave him $1 million, but the church was in a tight, but they wanted to be a blessing. He turned right around and put the $1 million back in the account. Because while I appreciate the blessing, y'all need it more than I do. Wait a minute. Wait. God says, what's better? My blessings or me?
Wow.
I can't tell you how many times with eyes wide open, we have the nerve to tell God, give me the stuff. Do you know you can have the stuff and not have God? You're finna miss all this. But do you know it's impossible to have God and not have the stuff? Look at 5, Deuteronomy 18:5.
For the Lord your God has chosen him out of all your tribes.
This is what you're doing. Zoom in. Why are we different? Why are the 11 brothers over there and we over here? God said, that wasn't your doing. Now get off of them and get in your own. Why did God save me and didn't save my siblings? Why don't your siblings work that out with God? How is it that my siblings make more money, but I have more resources? That doesn't make sense. How is it everybody is always mad and jealous of me because I seem to be able to do more with less, and they seem to be able to do less with more? God said, I chose him out of all your tribes. Why?
To stand to minister in the name and presence of the Lord, him and his sons forever.
I chose that because I need somebody more caught up in the standing than caught up in the inheritance. Oh, you missed it. See, more of us God cannot use because we're more consumed with his stuff than him. Go back to 1 Peter 2. Because see, in Genesis, Abram missed it too, so don't feel bad. After he gave all that stuff away, the very next chapter, God comes in and says, hey man, don't worry about nothing. God don't say, I'm going to replace all of that. So you don't feel like you missed nothing. No, he did something better, Price. He says in the chapter, hey, don't worry about nothing, Abram. I'm your exceeding reward. I'm your prize. And Abram says, what difference do that make? Because I ain't got no son. What? How do you even blow past that? Because he had no concept to what it is to know that God was his prize. Oh, wow. Watch this. So I'm going to go back to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. 1 Peter 2 and 9. He says, believers now, believers. It's tough because in John, in John, I think it's 17, where this is what we call the real Lord's Prayer. Jesus says, don't take them out of the world, but keep them while they're, go back and examine the prayer. He prays it in such a way, they are in the world, Father, but they are not. But while he prayed that prayer, we live like we're not only in it, but. So all through the scripture, God has been saying, no, they over there. You're supposed to be. He says, I chose you as a race, a royal priesthood. We understand priest as a tribe. But I expected you to grow beyond where you started. From a race to a tribe, a dedicated nation. Did you see that? That's bigger than where you started. God's what?
Own purchase.
So I pay for what you got. His own purchased what?
Special people.
What does special mean?
Outside of the word.
Watch this. Now here he comes. God, why did you do all of this? Because somebody needs to see something. We're too consumed with the wrong thing. Oh, this person is a cross-dresser. Oh, this person is a lesbian. Oh, this person is gay. Oh, this person, whatever. It's all kind of terms and all of that. And we act like God can't save. In the heart of all of this foolishness, God will still demonstrate not only to them, but to us as well, if he could save us. That's what I don't want nobody saying. We act like our sins were so squeaky clean. Yeah, we was dirty and tore up too. But the reality is, if God could save us, what makes you think he can't?
Save them.
See, Romans doesn't say, and whites have sinned, which is different from blacks have sinned, which is very different from Asians have sinned, which is very different from Hispanics have sinned, and the educated have sinned, which is very different from the uneducated have sinned. No, it don't compartmentalize it. Right. It just simply says, all of us have. Yeah. Watch this. That you may set forth the wonderful deeds. Everything about our lives is supposed to be on display so that when the world sees us, they have to wonder, how in the world is somebody like you living like that, balling like that, rolling like that? Where do you work? It shocked the crap out of you if I told you. Some of us lived better in between jobs than we did. Why? Because God was trying to show you and the world something. The job was never your source. It was your seed source. But you kept eating the seed. And depending on the seed, as if the seed was the source, and I was giving you seed to sow. Everybody's missing this. I just needed you to let people see what it is to be connected to the covenant God. Set forth the wonderful deed and display the virtues and perfections of him. Not the virtues and perfections of you. You missed it. I know God ain't blessing nobody like you. I saw what you did the other day. But then you come right behind and say, and that was a poor example I set before you, but newsflash, I'm still blessed because of the covenant God I'm connected with, and not because of what I bring to the table. Everybody, that's what I'm saying. Y'all, we don't run with holy folk. We don't run with folk that's got it all together. We don't live next to folk that's got everything right. They don't dot every I and cross every T. We don't hang with one of them kind of folk. And so people need to be encouraged if God can save you. If God can use you. If God can bless you. And we was both at the club last night. And God blessed you. Then surely it's got to be some hope for me. We demonstrate the virtues and perfections, it says, of him who called us out of into. Hey, let the record show all day and all night. Whatever you see and admire and appreciate is him.
Amen.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. Whatever you think I got going on over here, it's him.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah? I went to this school. I went to that college. But the paper on the wall is evident that it's a God in heaven.
Amen.
Because if he wasn't keeping my mind, if he wasn't keeping me focused, if he wasn't helping me with all of the other foolishness and distractions that was going on, if it wasn't, see, that paper does not remind me of how good I am. That paper on the wall reminds me of how good he is.
Amen.
I don't know why college, it shouldn't be a joke. See, yeah, magna cum laude, super cum laude. I don't know why they got a section called thank you, Lord, because for most of us, that's the only way we got through.
Amen.
You know doggone well, we were the worst of students. But God.
Thank you.
It's a whole lot of tests. Price, when they heard back, you was a surprise as a teacher. What? Yeah, they were shocked too. Yeah. When you cross the stage, it should be no shouting. It should be a, I can't believe it. I can't believe y'all let somebody like me come across this stage after 4 years. 5,
10,
6,
10.
pick a number. See, some of us after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and it wasn't for the grace of God. Watch this. So you become a display. See, folk walk through our house. Oh, you got a bachelor's. Oh, you got a master's. Oh, you got a PhD. I didn't know you was that smart. Now, I don't know why you don't rush to let them know. Do you know why I have them hanging on the wall? Those are symbols to let folk know how awesome God is.
Amen.
I ain't earned now one of them. And if I tell the truth on me, because I know you won't tell the truth on you, I sure don't deserve.
All right.
Y'all know when you first graduate, and if they give you a little thing, bro, you know ain't nothing in there. That's a prophetic move.
Yeah.
See, ain't nothing in there, and then when you first walk across, because see, if the truth be told, that's what we earned. See, when they have the rolled up little thing, that's blank.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? But I'll let you know something. This is what I earned. So what they give you later, they going to pass it down? That's what God earned. Yeah. See, we ought to photocopy. We ought to go home right now. You ought to have at least 2 sets of degrees if you're going to display them, Keisha. Go and have the one the school sent with your name on it, but then you can do it. Go on and photocopy one and put God's name on the other one. So when folk come out, what you got 2? Well, there's the real degree, and then there's the one that y'all acknowledge. Yeah, and let the record show. The real one is the one with just 3 letters on the name. Yeah. Watch this. Watch this. We got to go. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 10 says, never forget this. Never. I don't care how much money you make, how many cars you drive, how many cars you own, how many trips you take. I want to go to Colorado too. I don't care where you go. Look at verse 10.
Once you were not a people at all.
Stop right there. See, don't ever forget that.
Yes, Lord.
See, y'all, there was a time when we wasn't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, you get mad because Caucasians say, you know, we're only 2/3 human. Well, you should thank God. 2/3 is do you see what that said right there? That say no third. Once you were not a. If you're not a people, then what are you? You're a nothing. You were not a people, it says, at all. You didn't have no identity. Watch this. But now.
Amen.
Hallelujah. Glory to God.
That's right.
Yes.
See, maybe in about 8 or 9 more weeks, a better shout will come right there. It didn't just say, but now you are a people. It didn't say that. But now, you are. You can't get no higher than that. From no identity to absolute supreme identity.
Yes.
Watch this. Once you were,
Unpitied.
man, didn't nobody have pity. Nobody cared about what you were going through. That's what you get. Nobody cared about our plight. Once you were unpitied. But now,
You are pitied.
but not just pity, because you can see somebody going through something. Oh, man, I feel so bad what you're going through. That's pity. God does better than pity. You see the verse? Watch this. Get some scissors, man, and do the work. Once you were unpitied, but now you are pitied and
Have received mercy.
God did something about our situation, y'all.
Yes, he did. Thank you.
We live in faith every day by learning to live a uniquely different life. Not only is there nobody like God, there is nobody like God's people.
Right.
Absolutely.
He's only waiting for somebody to live like it. Father, we thank you and we praise you for your Sabbath school lesson today. Thank you for your Holy Spirit who gives us clarity and understanding and then the ability to articulate to the people what you have given me. You get the glory, all the honor, and the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.